Have you ever thought about light not just as something you capture in a photo, but as something you could actually sculpt or paint with, or even use to tell a story? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into a really cool photography technique that lets you do exactly that.
So, to kick things off, I've got a little visual puzzle for you. I want you to take a good look at this next image and just ask yourself, how is this made?
Okay, here it is. What an incredible, joyful portrait, right? And what immediately grabs your eye is that giant number 50 projected on the wall behind him. Now, your first thought is probably Photoshop, yeah? Some digital overlay they added later. But what if I told you that's not what's happening here? This isn't a filter, it's not some digital trick. That number is a real object, physically in the room, and it's made entirely of light. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If it's not a digital effect, how on earth did the photographer project such a clean, sharp number onto that wall to create such a powerful image? What kind of tool are we even talking about? Well, the magic behind this shot comes from a brilliantly simple tool. It's been a secret weapon for photographers and theater lighting designers for decades, and it's called a gobo. So, what is a gobo? Well, the official definition is that it's a physical template you place inside a special kind of light, like a spotlight attachment. And its job is pretty simple. It blocks some of the light and lets the rest pass through, which lets you control the exact shape of the light that hits a surface. But you know what? Let's just cut through all the technical jargon. The easiest way to think about it is this. A gobo is a stencil for light, plain and simple. And they come in two main types. You've got durable metal ones, like you see here, which are fantastic for those sharp geometric shapes. But you can also get complex glass gobos, which can project incredibly detailed images, almost like a high-def black and white slide. And here's a great little piece of trivia for you. Why the funny name gobo? It's actually short for goes before optics, which is a super literal description of where you put it in the lighting setup. It goes before the focusing lens, or the optics, of the light. All right, let's circle back to that fantastic portrait and see exactly how this all comes together. We're going to use it as a little case study to connect the tool to the final piece of art. And there it is. This really just lays the whole concept bare. On the left, you've got the tool, a simple metal stencil with the number 50 cut right out of it. And on the right, you have the final result. That simple little piece of metal, when you put it in front of a focused light, creates that huge, graphic, and really meaningful background. It's a direct physical cause and effect, no digital work required. Now, the really crucial thing to get here is that this wasn't just a stylistic choice, it was a storytelling one. The photographer used that gobo to instantly tell you what this photo is about. It's not just a portrait of a man, it's a portrait celebrating his 50th birthday. The light itself becomes a character in the story. It really shows that light isn't just for making things visible, it's a tool for storytelling. And this technique is so incredibly versatile. I mean, it goes way beyond just one milestone birthday. You can use the same principle to add a graphic punch to all kinds of celebrations. For example, you can project a bold 21 to create this really powerful graphic statement for a milestone birthday. It turns what could be a simple photo shoot into something really memorable and declarative. Or you could use a clean 25 to commemorate a silver wedding anniversary. It adds this touch of personalized elegance to the portraits and weaves the couple's history right into the frame. And hey, it's not just personal stuff either. A gobo can mark a corporate milestone, like 75 years in business. It adds a really professional, branded element that's perfect for things like annual reports or historical events. But this is where it gets really fun and cinematic. Forget numbers for a second. With the right gobo, you can create a whole mood out of thin air. You can project hard lines of light to make it look like sun slicing through Venetian blinds for that classic film noir feel. You could use a leafy pattern to create dappled, magical forest light, even if you're inside a studio with no windows. You can project crisp company logos at an event, add abstract cinematic textures for an album cover. You are literally building the environment with light. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's really about a fundamental shift in how you think about light in a creative space. See, by using a tool like a gobo, a creator isn't just a passive observer waiting around for the right light. They become an active participant. They move from just capturing a scene to intentionally creating one. They are designing the atmosphere, telling the story, and building the world of their image with light itself. And that's what's so exciting. This isn't just some trick for pro photographers. It's a new way of seeing. So I'll leave you with this question.
Now that you know the secret of the gobo, what shapes, what patterns, and what stories will you start seeing in the light and shadows all around you?